Welcome to Blatant-ish, a podcast where my mom and I discuss our opinions on a variety of topics while attempting to navigate a generational gap of 18 years. Sometimes we agree, more often we don't. But either way, we're taking you along for the ride. So remember to brush your teeth, and let's get Blatant-ish. Welcome to the MCU Fantasy Draft, where we've taken 40 of your favorite heroes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've lined them all up, and me and Mom are going to choose a team. We're going to take turns drafting and picking a hero until we have a team of 20.
Yeah.
So I've attempted to compile a list of, in my opinion, like every hero from all of the Marvel movies up to the end of Moon Knight. So we're not including anything introduced in the new Doctor Strange movie. So there'll be no spoilers for Multiverse of Madness, and we're not going to have any spoilers for the Moon Knight TV show. Right. We're including Moon Knight, but we're not going to spoil anything in the TV show.
And I haven't seen the Doctor Strange movie, so...
Yeah, but we've... this list includes... Well, I'll read the list off. We've got Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Loki, Valkyrie, Black Panther, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Quicksilver, Vision, Star-Lord, Drax, Gamora, Rocket, Groot, Mantis, War Machine, Ant-Man, the Wasp, Captain Carter from Marvel What If, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, Athena, Cersei, Druig, Gilgamesh, Icarus, Ajax, Sprite, Kingo, Makari, and Festus. So pretty much the entire Infinity War saga all the way up to the Eternals. And...
with a few exceptions.
With a few exceptions, yeah. I've left some off.
I've already seen some people that you left off. Yeah.
No, yeah. If I've left off your favorite hero, I'm sorry, but I did the best I could. I needed 40, so I got 40.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know if I left out the most important MCU hero ever or something. So then, how are we going to decide who gets to pick first? You have a coin. We're going to flip a coin.
I found a dime on your floor.
Oh, perfect. All right. Heads or tails, Mom? I'll let you pick.
Heads.
You're going to pick heads.
Yes.
All right. Shit. That was tails. I saw it.
All right, let's go.
So I'm gonna pick first then, and I'm gonna just take the all-time best. I'm gonna take the Hulk.
Okay.
The Hulk's my first pick. He's a double whammy. You get like Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So I've got like the strong man and some brains for my first pick.
Well, along those lines, I think I am going to choose Doctor Strange because magic and brains.
Magic and brains. He might. I'm hurting myself here, but he's probably one of the only ones on the list who might be able to handle the Hulk. There are a couple Hulk fighters, but that's a good pick. This one might surprise you because he's definitely not like one of my top favorite heroes from the MCU, but I'm going to pick Black Panther.
I love T'Challa.
Yeah, oh no, I like him. I like the movie a lot.
And I think you should have included his sister.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
she's
closer.
Really, the one that she's like the tech genius.
I was closer to including his royal guard from the movie than how
she would have been a great one too.
Because his sister was like, I don't know. I don't think she.
And maybe I'm just thinking ahead.
No, maybe so. Yeah, but I'm gonna pick Black Panther, and I might even surprise you even more because he's gonna be my team leader.
Okay.
He's 100% the person I'm gonna make my team leader. That dude's got some country leading experience. He's mystical, techie, Wakanda. I think that he's got a level head.
Yeah.
So he'll lead the team.
I'm going to choose. God, this is so difficult.
I thought it would be.
I'm gonna pick Thor because, strength, and he's like the hammer.
The god of thunder.
He's a god.
God of thunder.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I'm gonna pick Thor. And at this point, I'm not gonna pick a team leader yet.
Okay. Yeah. Thor's a good pick. He's another one. You got with him and Doctor Strange. You got a solid strength magic duo going on. This is as far as I planned. I got the first two that I wanted. Now I'm. Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm gonna take Festus the Eternal.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, he is, in my opinion, even with like Iron Man on the list, I think he is by far the most intelligent, techie, designer, weapon guy on the list. He's going to be the brains of my team.
Yeah.
By far.
Well, along those lines, I'm just going to go with Iron Man. Tony Stark.
So here's the thing, and here's something I've talked about before. People is Tony Stark. I think the MCU boosted his intelligence because up to this point in the MCU we haven't had the Fantastic Four, and we haven't had Reed Richards. I feel like there's been a void, and I feel like they let Tony Stark like fill that void.
And we also haven't had the Beast or
we're missing a lot of the heavy hitting intelligent characters.
Dr. X, Professor X. Sorry, I agree.
Like we were batting low, so like Bruce Banner and Tony Stark like stepped up into that place, and and both of them are incredibly intelligent. They're probably in the top 10, but I feel like Tony was like really boosted to being smarter than some of his original comic.
Well, I mean, the MCU obviously taking some creative liberties.
Yeah, and I think some of them have been really solid. In fact, I think some of the stuff the MCU has done has influenced the comics. But but I think since we're dealing only with like MCU, Iron Man's an awesome pick.
So who's next?
It's my pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Vision.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think he's overlooked a lot. He's very powerful.
I'm going to go with Cersei.
All right.
I don't know. I love magic users.
Yeah, her
and she manipulates matter, and I don't know if that's really would be considered magic or not, but she manipulates matter. And we also know that, well,
the Eternals.
Are we wanting to do spoilers for the Eternals? Has it been out long enough?
The Eternals have been out long enough.
Ends up becoming the leader anyway, right?
Yeah. Cersei ends up becoming the leader by the end in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Eternals are like at that. In my opinion, they're at that level of technology because they have like celestial tech where it appears as magic.
Speaking of celestials, Cersei now.
Yeah, she communicates
with celestials. So.
Well, by the end of the movie, she's been like kidnapped into space.
Well, right.
but
prior to that,
Cersei's like matter manipulation is pretty badass.
Yeah.
So you're taking Cersei. I've already taken an Eternal, but I'm probably gonna take another one. I'm gonna take Druig. Druig because the stuff he does in the movie is terrifying. He's again, with the void we have in the MCU, without having like your big telepaths, we don't have Jean Grey, we don't have
because
we don't have Franklin Richards, we don't have Professor X. Druig is mind control central, so he's going to be my telepath.
Nice. That was a good pick. I think I'm going to go with the Winter Soldier. Get a little bit more brawn,
a little more muscle.
And this is post Wakanda.
Yeah, this is post Wakanda Winter Soldier. So we
got the arm.
So his arms all
badass,
and it's essentially Captain America's shield, and some of his mental stuff's been healed up. I'm even okay with him saying it's like post Winter Soldier and the Falcon Winter Soldier.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, definitely Winter Soldier. Then will be my fifth pick.
And I'm gonna balance you out on that. I'm gonna go with Captain Carter. Because in my opinion, if I got to choose between Captain America and Captain Carter, Steve Rogers was like a tiny, like wimpy boy who got injected with serum and became like, a badass. Captain Carter was already a badass and like went on to continue to be a badass. So once you inject her with the serum, I think Captain Carter would outshine Captain America in every way, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Captain Carter.
Makari.
Yeah, Makari.
Makari once even outran Quicksilver.
Yeah, there was in the comics there was a race, and Makari, literally the only person who beat Makari was this is a funny story in Marvel. It's a comic book race, and it's a race of all the speedsters. This entity brings them all in, and Makari is winning by like a lot, and then out of nowhere, this character it was an amnesiac character shows up, and he says he can't remember his name, but he says I think it's Buried Alien, and it's a Marvel writer giving a shout out to Barry Allen, the Flash, crazy. And so the Flash, or an iteration of the DC character, is actually the fastest character in the Marvel universe.
That's crazy.
But now since we're looking at the MCU. the feats mainly there. Makari's feats are still. I can't think of anyone in the MCU that's faster. Quicksilver is not fast. Quicksilver, I mean, obviously was taken out by bullets, but kind of sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
But Makari like circumnavigates the globe in the movie, and I'm gonna have to go with Quicksilver just because I want to balance it out and get myself a speedster. But I think Makari would run circles around Quicksilver.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna pick Quicksilver.
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna go with Kate Bishop because
Girl power.
girl power, and up and coming and younger than Hawkeye.
Yeah, but since we're going with the newest, like if we're going off the Hawkeye TV show,
Yes.
Hawkeye's, I mean, still very in, but like on his way out.
But
I would say
she rivals his
for sure.
ability. So
Absolutely.
We gotta.
And Kate Bishop, depending on where the MCU decides to go, Kate Bishop gets some really cool story stuff in the comics. I'm going to complete the family here, and I'm going to take the Scarlet Witch. Because the fact that she's still on the list after like 8 picks is almost
And this
pretty
is
sad.
post Wanda.
This is post WandaVision, but pre Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
And I still think that means
Because we all know that we're not spoiling anything. Elizabeth Olsen.
If it's in the trailers, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Now I've seen the new movie, but I'm not gonna. Considering Wanda at the end of WandaVision, I still think that I've possibly just picked one of the strongest characters in the MCU by far. Wanda is insane. And I can't help but color my opinion off the new movie because Elizabeth Olsen should win all the Oscars. All of them.
So, Shang-Chi, because the rings.
Shang-Chi, that movie is dynamite. I love that movie. In between, like, I think that was, for a movie that I didn't think I would like, that's the one that impressed me the most. Between like that and the Eternals and the ones I was unsure about, I really like Shang-Chi. I'm gonna take my boy. I'm gonna take my boy Spider-Man. And I laid down the ground rules before that whoever picks Spider-Man has to pick between the trio. You either have to pick Tom Holland because they're all in the MCU. Who do you think I'm gonna pick?
I know who I would pick.
Who would you pick?
I would pick Tom Holland. He is my Spider-Man.
I'm taking Tobey Maguire. And the reason I'm taking Tobey Maguire...
Wait, let me guess. Because you're taking the older, wise
I'm taking
Tobey
the older,
Maguire.
wiser
Yes,
Tobey Maguire. Yes. Because... And his performance... And I liked the original Spider-Man movies, and they get a lot of hate. And in the newest Spider-Man movie, Tobey Maguire, like, catches the goblin thing, and he like looks at Tom, and yeah, he really redeemed himself.
I enjoyed the
so
older,
I'm taking
wiser persona.
I'm taking older, wiser Spider-Man, 100%. And he reminds me of the Spider-Man you got in the multiverse one too, the animated one. He reminds me of that. Peter Parker. I think that's kind of what they were aiming at. And that older, wiser, kind of depressed Spider-Man is my favorite.
So I'm going to take Tom Holland Spider-Man. No, I'm joking.
We're just going to take all the Spider-Man.
It doesn't work that way. Okay.
Yeah, I've got Spider-Man. You don't
my
get
next
Spider-Man.
one. I'm going to take Loki.
I actually knew you were going to do
that. Because I love Loki.
Because Tom Hiddleston's hot? Is that what you're going to say?
And Tom Hiddleston.
You just want Tom Hiddleston?
I am such a fan of that character.
Why don't you just write Tom Hiddleston?
He's snarky. He's a trickster. But I saw Loki in a totally different light after the TV show. Not that I
love the TV show.
I love the character even more after the TV show.
But
yes, Loki. I think he and I mean.
Oh yeah, you already have Thor too.
I have Thor.
You've got the brothers.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead here, and I'm gonna make the power play and take Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. Honestly, if I hadn't already put Black Panther as my team leader, Captain Marvel was I tied them. Captain Marvel would probably be a better leader. You haven't seen a lot. Like Captain Marvel showed up in the Avengers, and then Captain Marvel has a appearance at the end of Shang-Chi. When they're talking about the rings, if I remember correctly. But like you haven't seen a lot of Captain Marvel, but it's her movie took place in like the 70s. Yeah.
No, it was the 80s.
The 80s?
Yeah.
And like,
if I'm not mistaken.
so
I'm
it's
pretty
been
sure
like
the
40
80s.
years, and every time you've seen Captain Marvel is like in charge and in command, and
Yeah.
like it shows up and like, hi, I'm here. Captain Marvel is like had 40 years out defending the entirety of the universe, is what it seems like to me. So I think the next time we actually see Captain Marvel in a movie in modern day, we're going to see a really different character than what Brie Larson played in the first one, like the young kind of. Even then, it was a trained military presence, but I think it's going to be even wilder.
Yeah.
On her next movie.
I am going to choose. Let's just go ahead and I'll take Valkyrie.
You're completing your Thor set.
Yes. And I mean, she's the leader of the Asgardians now, so.
Right.
And come on.
She's badass.
She is a badass bitch, and
Like the Pegasus.
and I mean that in the most respectful way. Yes, and her ride is bomb. So,
I'm gonna just to throw him on. I'm gonna take Superman of the MCU.
oh,
I'm gonna take Icarus because Icarus is stupid strong.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe you didn't put my man Star Fox in there. I mean, come on.
Oh,
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
I freaking love him. Come on.
Oh God. It's Thanos' brother.
I don't care. It's Harry Styles.
Well, because I didn't put like Black Knight either, because I don't. Other than like saying like, "Hey, I'm here, guys." I don't feel like they've really been a presence.
You mean
yet.
Jon Snow?
Jon Snow? You mean Kit Harington? Yeah, I never. He's never going to be Kit Harington. He's always going to be Jon Snow. For
Jon
me.
Snow.
When he was in Call of Duty, it was, hey, look, Jon Snow's in Call of Duty, and now he's playing Black Knight, which isn't helping the fact that I'm looking at him like he's Jon Snow. He's just going to be Jon Snow in armor, in like heavy armor. If you've been enjoying the show so far, you should take a minute to check out our affiliate link down below from Ice T Aesthetics. Ice T Aesthetics offers quality garments featuring awesome art from young, new artists with a dark anime Japanese style. Their t-shirts and hoodies are some of my favorite, and if you use the code Blatant10 on checkout, you can get 10% off your next purchase. We get a small kickback for any purchases made, and this is an awesome way to support us while grabbing some cool swag.
Another more direct way to support us is by subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/Blatant-ish. We'll be posting bloopers, extended cuts, and eventually episodes released a day early. Now, back to the show. Kingo.
Just some energy blasts in there.
And, you know, he's funny and
He
Bollywood.
was hilarious
Yeah.
in the movie. I really liked his character.
So, yeah, I mean, cosmic energy, you can't go wrong with harnessing that. So,
Okay, so this is a fun one because I've got the Hulk on my team, and I've got the Scarlet Witch, and I think both of those situations we have two people who could need to be reeled in. I'm going to pick Mantis because Mantis is like an empath, and she can like control emotions, and Mantis is one of two people on this list that I think could reel in the Hulk if he went wild. With like the least casualties. So I'm going to take Mantis.
okay. Well, I'm just trying to decide between two. I'm going to go with Ant-Man because, I mean, I think he's very underrated.
Do you know I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp?
What?
I didn't watch it. I never watched. I just realized I've never not. That's like the MCU film. That one and...
So you hadn't seen the Quantum?
Yeah. I skipped straight to Endgame, Infinity War, whichever one when he came back. I never actually saw... I've seen the scene where he gets stuck in it. I've watched it online, but I've never seen the movie.
Oh.
I've also never seen Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And I've never seen Thor: Dark World.
You know, all of those.
I haven't seen any of those. Those are 3 MCU films I've never seen.
I've seen those.
How
How did you not see Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
I just didn't.
Because, I mean, that was an important movie.
Yeah, and then Thor: Dark World's where like the Red Infinity Stone was introduced,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen either of them. I saw a clip from Thor: Dark World the other day, and I thought that it looked really cool.
I really love how Thor and the Guardians are mingled.
I'm really excited for Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I think Love and Thunder is going to be an awesome movie.
Did you ever watch the trailer? because we were waiting to watch the trailer. We had talked about
with
reacting to it.
Because there's a scene with Star-Lord where he's talking about like how you have to like love your family, and then Chris Hemsworth is like leaning in like, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "No, of course you're not talking about me." Yeah, I'm excited. The Thor Ragnarok is like top 3 MCU films by far.
I love that. Yeah, it was a great movie. And again, Loki, because that was part of the appeal for me.
Yeah, Loki, that team of Mark Ruffalo, Tom Hiddleston.
That was some of the funniest shit.
And Chris Hemsworth, yes. They were a power team. Yeah. And then the actress who plays Valkyrie. The whole group was awesome. Amazing. The villain was good too. The sister. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was awesome. That whole movie was good.
All right, what you got next? Number 13.
Oh, because you took Ant-Man.
I took Ant-Man.
I'm gonna take Star-Lord. And that's a weird pick, but I think the MC, even though the MCU didn't take like the like Spartax angle the comics do with him, where he's like a prince of a planet. They made his dad like Ego, the living planet, and I think that he's got more power going on than they're letting on. So I'm going to take him with the hopes that in the future I'm proven that he's even more powerful than you think he is, because that's how it is in the comics. And I'm thinking they're going to work an angle with him on that. I think we're going to see him do some cool stuff in Guardians 3.
We're getting down some slim pickings.
We're at the bottom of the barrel, yeah.
For some variety and for comic factor, because we all need a good laugh, I'm taking Rocket.
I knew you were going to do that.
And he's handy with a gun.
Yeah, I got to take Groot then, just so you can't have him. I like Groot. Groot's cool. So I'm going to take Groot.
And Groot's getting a TV show, and I'm just curious how that's going to work.
I don't think it's a TV show. I think it's called I Am Groot.
It's called I Am Groot, yes.
And I think it's just I think it's a special. I think it's like one. I may be wrong, but I think it's one episode. It's like a feature.
When I was doing research for the MCU podcast we were planning, it was on one of the shows that was coming this year to Disney Plus.
Yes,
She-Hulk.
Which I'm also
I Am Groot.
For. The Marvels.
The Marvels, yes.
I'm excited for all those. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel is one of my favorite. I really like her. She's going to be in the Marvels.
You just picked Groot.
I did pick Groot. It's your turn.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say Thena. I changed my mind at the last minute. First of all, Angelina Jolie. Freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Great actress. And I mean, she's the goddess of war. Come on.
I'm going to take Moon Knight. Again.
Well, see, I was debating. I was like, Moon Knight, Thena, and I ended up.
And without getting into spoilers for the show, it's totally due to the last episode and watching the fighting, the way he fought in the last episode, won me over. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, there's so much I want to say, but we're going to save that for
later
for our MCU podcast. And once everybody's had a chance to see that and Doctor Strange, and then we'll talk about it.
But the last episode is awesome.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh. I mean, first of all,
more strength.
He's more strength, but like he was the earth eternal, the earthbound. What am I trying to say? The earth-based eternal.
Yeah,
but they say that he was actually stronger than Icarus.
He's like the strongest one, and he in the movie, since you took Thena, he's the one that can kind of calm Thena down. Yes. So that's a good pick.
Yeah. They kind of work in tandem.
To wrap off some Eternals, we got 2 left. I'm going to take Ajax because Ajax is a healer, and that's going to give my team someone who can heal. That was a great pick. Between Ajax and Mantis, I can pretty much heal mental and physical stuff.
God, it really speaks to the characters you just don't like.
I'm really surprised actually at one of the characters still on this list.
I'm going to pick War Machine, and here's why. Tony Stark, he's got military background, the suit, so it's a little more brute strength involved, and tech, and he's got strategy. Well, now whether they use that to their strength, in my team, he's going to use that as an advantage.
I'm going to take Black Widow.
Because I don't want her.
Once again, Black Widow.
I never even finished watching. I started it, and then I turned it off halfway through.
I really enjoyed the movie.
I didn't.
I really liked it. I thought it was funny. It was cool. And again, well, I had to watch it because I think it sets up, as we've seen in some of the other stuff. It's in the Hawkeye TV show.
Well, sure, and I also have not watched that show.
I take Black Widow because in the MCU she can also kind of rein in the Hulk, calm the Hulk down because of their relationship.
Yeah,
and because Black Widow kind of held the Avengers down prior to Thanos, and she's a cool character. She's a spy. I don't have that represented in my team yet.
Captain America, because it's Cap.
I was going to say, I can't believe Captain America. We had 40,
I know there's probably people
we had 40 people, and he made it into the last 7.
Have they not taken Captain America?
I took Captain Carter because I think Captain Carter's better. I think Captain Carter's cooler.
But sentimental, and he's he's not exactly
sentimental man and woman to pump me up. Yeah. All right. So I'll take one more. I'm gonna take Hawkeye. Hockey. You got Kate Bishop. I got Black Widow. I've got Hawkeye.
You took him.
So the 5 that we don't like on the list are the Falcon, Drax, Gamora, the Wasp, and Sprite.
All right, I'm gonna take the Wasp because she works well with Ant-Man. I know which one you're fixing to pick.
Drax.
I knew it. I knew on this list.
I fell in love with this. I can't count this. I fell in love with Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, and the humor. I have Star-Lord already, so that's just setting up for some funnies.
Yeah.
But Drax in the video. If you haven't played the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, you can put it. I don't even care if you're good at video games. You can put it on easy mode, and it's not even a hard game to play, and just enjoy the story. The characters, they really nailed the interaction.
Funnily enough,
you're gonna pick Sprite.
I'm gonna pick Sprite. Yes. I think Sprite has the illusion. They're very sneaky. I think her, sorry. Mm-hmm. And Loki.
Kingo. Oh, Sprite and Loki. I didn't think about that together. That'd be cool. Okay, so the last 2 are Gamora and Falcon. Which one am I picking?
You're gonna pick Falcon.
No, I picked Gamora.
Really?
Yeah, Thanos' daughter. Like the greatest assassin in the universe. Gamora and Black Widow. That's a team. And now, so Falcon is the last one on the list, and let me just say that.
Here we go, because I'm not gonna get like Captain America Falcon. I get.
You get Falcon. You
Mechanical wing Falcon.
Yeah, because we have Captain America on the list. This is just Falcon. I think
it should.
It's Sam Mackie, right? That plays the character. Isn't that his name? Anthony Mackie. Sam's the Falcon's name. Anthony Mackie was probably delivered one of my favorite performances in all of the TV shows so far, except for Oscar Isaac in Moon Knight. Because Oscar Isaac in Moon Knight, also like Elizabeth Olsen, deserves all the Oscars because that man made me believe there were 2 different men on screen.
I can't wait to talk about that show because there's so many.
There's a scene in the last episode with Oscar Isaac where he does. The one scene that I was just like, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk about it when we get off mic because it was awesome. The scene that really killed it for me. But Anthony Mackie's performance, the Falcon's one of my favorites. I just don't like the hero.
Yeah, and like your dad didn't care for the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, and I loved it. It was one of the best. It was the one that felt the most like a Marvel movie to me. I enjoyed the buddy cop type. Yes. The banter. Yes. 100%. And they're just hilarious. The 2 of them, in character, out of character, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, they're hilarious together. So what are we going to do with our fantasy draft lineup.
So we're gonna, instead of reading them out because I think that's pointless, we're gonna post these in the show notes.
Okay.
Who we picked, and there's 3 categories. Okay, between my team and Mom's team, we're gonna vote who would win in a all-out versus death match.
Which team?
Which team do you think would win? Then we're gonna vote for if you had to pick one team to save the planet from some awful, horrible crisis. Which one would you prefer to have? And then if you had to take one of our teams to serve on Congress.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.,
okay.
Yeah. To serve on the political Congress in the U.S., who would you rather have representing you in the highest body of government?
Not picking a side for political terms.
Yeah.
Anything's better than what we have from both sides.
Oh, yeah. I would prefer either of our teams, yeah.
Not choosing a side, because we do have our particular opinions on that.
We can go ahead and put our votes. Who do you think would win in an all-out versus death match?
An all-out versus death match? Oh, God.
Because I think I'm going to smash your team.
I think
ruthlessly.
So. Like, if we're talking about...
ruthlessly smash your team.
like if we're doing like a battle royale, I think your team is going to kick
I got the Hulk,
ass.
Vision, Druid. I mean, honestly, between Druid and the Scarlet Witch, your team might just turn into like flowers.
I just picked people I liked. There's a lot of magic on this team, though.
Save the world, depending on the crisis, though, your team might.
Because some of these folks,
there's just as much of a chance
that your people aren't going to.
There's just as much of a chance, though, of my team like trying to save the world, because I've got Icarus, the Hulk, Druid, Wanda,
Doctor
Moon Knight.
That's all I got to say. Doctor Strange.
Yeah, there's a chance that this team will like tear themselves apart to infighting. So I think
infighting. Yeah.
So that's why if I have to pick a team to serve as on Congress, like I'm just going to send Black Panther over to your team and then let.
Of course, some people could say that because you got Thor, you got Loki, but I would like to think post the TV show
Moderation.
Loki is a different person now.
If you take Loki. There's 2 stages. You can take Loki at the right before his death in Endgame.
Yes.
That Loki and
Spoiler
Thor
alert.
are great. Well, yeah. If you haven't seen Endgame, then why are you listening to the Marvel podcast?
Yeah.
Or Loki at the end of the Loki TV show. I think both of them have kind of through different ways come to the same. Loki's whole transition was always has to do with love. In Endgame, it was love for his brother and realizing and his mother's death and stuff. And in the TV show, it was love for himself.
I mean,
Sylvie.
He fell in
love with himself.
With himself.
Yeah, but it was still the same thing. And then he watched himself die and watched the stuff. He got to see it all anyway. So I think you basically end up with the same character. Maybe the Loki from the TV show is still a little more devious than the one from the mainline Loki.
Yeah,
because he didn't live through it. So yeah, that's we'll post our teams in the comics.
The Congress. We never discussed that.
Oh yeah, it'd be yours. Mine would tear each other apart in Congress.
Oh, that's what you were getting
at. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
I was gonna say because we have some diplomats here.
Yeah, I've got like I said, I've got Black Panther and like Captain Marvel, but like
because I have a lot of leaders.
Yeah, but I Druid.
I still have no idea who I would put as the team leader here because you have so many strong personalities. I mean, Captain America would probably assume he was the one, but Tony Stark would be like, no, because
that's
look
fair.
at the movies.
Your team would fall into a civil war.
Yeah, literally. We could go Cersei.
My leaders, I went with Black Panther, but I just as easily could have went with Captain Carter, Captain Marvel, Icarus or Ajax.
Of course, Valkyrie. She is leading the Asgards now.
Star-Lord is the underdog, but MVP leader of choice. Or Black Widow. Black Widow could fill that role too if she needed to.
I just can't stand that character.
Well, on that note, this has been the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe Fantasy Draft with your host Brandy and Nick.
Me.
Yay. MCU.
Great talk.
Great talk.
If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and leave us a review on your listening platform of choice. After that, go call your mom.
You scrub.
Treat others with kindness and always be blatant-ish.